towards the middle of the pitch before being shoved out. But you know what? We'll roll with it. It was probably the best play that he could have done, so that's definitely good. And Xavier Dean gets the ball and runs it in, so that's another great run. Good usage of what the Marist JV gives us. So I say that's definitely good. Although where he placed that try is definitely going to be a difficult kick for Sean Holman for the conversion. Sean Holman is he's a pretty good kicker, but the wind's pretty strong right now. It's definitely pretty far from the uprights, so it'll be quite impressive if it goes in.
Indeed it will. Gordon Bordos bringing up the water with superior athleticism. And Salette we're bringing in huddle in the middle. Xavier Dean at 3. Thomas Schrader coming in at... No, sorry. Thomas Schrader's at 3 and Dean's at 5. Anthony Lillis at 4. Clarify that roster. William Reed at 11. And then a couple on the bench. Chris Corner and others.
Holman sends it and overcalculates it, and it's no good. It's definitely a difficult kick, so that's nothing against his kicking prowess. But he runs back, and Salette is locked and loaded, ready to receive the ball and, do another valiant charge down to the try zone.
Yet again. Marist jerseys kind of remind me of the Japanese jerseys for the Rugby World Cup. Kind of look like it from far away.
Yeah, I think it's pretty wonderful that Salette's broken up the program into so many different teams with JV, D2, Varsity, C-side, C-side 2. It really gives pretty much everybody an opportunity to get minutes. A lot of people weren't really expecting minutes, like Alexander Trella, for example, and he's really seeing game time now that the program's changed just a little bit.
Speaking of Alexander Trella, he just pulled one down by the seat of his trousers after going for a ride. Couple meters when he finally brought him down with the help of others. And the ball's out, so it's going to be Thomas Schrader. Steals the ball with a nice slide into first base.
Yep, Thomas Schrader's definitely another personality that he's just that. He's a personality on the team. He adds a lot of flair. He's a funny guy, and he definitely has the rugby spirit to go along with it. So as you can see now, he's running onto the ball, and he is prepared to smash and crash.
And smash and crash he does, and he yoinks him like a rag doll into touch.
Will be the first line out of the game, or second, excuse me.
It is overtime. No, it's not. It's line out. Salette, Xavier Dean. And that's one. He tries Sam Green. Theo Carlisle. Breaking through the line. Some good run. Ian Whitehead. Breaks through. Breaks free. He's looking to break some ankles. Oh, he does. Kind of slips there. It comes back inside. And dives inside for a 50-meter try. That's what I like to see from Ian Whitehead. He does that all the time. Malachi Martin clapping in happiness.
I wasn't exactly clapping. I was more like smacking the heels of my hands together. That's definitely a good try. It's reminiscent of Ian Whitehead's old classmate, Gavin Colombe, who loved to do that little run forward, take a little step back. He completely throws the defense off. It makes it more likely that you're going to be tackled, but these things happen. But didn't happen this time. He totally broke his ankles. Put it in, and definitely looked happy about doing it. So it's definitely a good move.
Now it's starting to rain all over the electronics.
Hey, can I ask something? Oh, yeah.
Anything will work right now. It's starting to rain. And there'll be a scrum for Marist. Try was not counted. And it'll be a pick off the back and a tackle. Just starting there. Also looking for the steal. It's open. Dominic Trask just couldn't quite get his hands on it. Max Dawson good tackle, along with Anthony Lillis. Theo Carlisle goes for a ride. So it brings down a mumbo jumbo. Out to the backs again. Well, quite as it really is in the back. Alexander Trello helps out there in Esparza. Tackles down. There's some more stuff. Coming out the back. Lossless line isn't quite there. As they're back out, Sean Holman swings one. Max House didn't release. Max House had to be on his feet in order to steal that. To the forwards, Anthony Lillis with a good tackle. Back out. Xavier Dean with Thomas Schrader putting on a show. And here's Sam Green. Darius Sparks with a good clear off. Didn't quite profit much from that though. And Theo Carlo will get another tackle. Alexander Trella crumpling over. Trying to get the poach. Couldn't get a nice tackle for Darren Esparza. And Jake Staffney down there. Pull out to sew his ankles. Balls out to the backs now. Out to the outside. Ian Whitehead, a nice hard tackle. Now they're coming back inside. Now they're ready for the ball. It's Theo Carlisle again. Isaac Schreck. Xavier Dean. And the poach, it looks like, from Darren Esparza. And the serve will call penalty to Marist. We've seen a lot of that today, a lot of Marist penalties. They'll go and try to score the first try. They'll get it. Salette not trying to hold up like the varsity does.
Yeah, the JV, the defense has definitely got a lot more holes in it. The JV for Marist isn't doing a fantastic job exploiting those holes. They're developing themselves as well. So, they're not doing a great job of staying as a line and really stopping everything that tries to get through. But they're doing a pretty great job. They have to get through that time, but the tackles are looking pretty good. Darren Esparza, Alexander Trella, and Sean Holman all having pretty good tackles. It's just this one time that they happen to get through. It's not a very big deal. We've got a whole game in front of us, so it's not the worst thing that could happen. Also, we've already scored once, and Ian Whitehead almost did score again, but it appears that he might have knocked it on before he made the try. So it is one try to one try, but it's not a bad way to start a game. It's a pretty good way to start the game. Very even playing field, makes it more fun and just more. What's the word I'm looking for, Elijah? What is it?
I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about, honestly, because whenever games are closer, I don't know. Whenever I'm broadcasting or on the stands or playing myself, I just get more stressed out. I don't think it's very much fun if it's very close. I don't know about you, but
I don't know, nothing, close, kind of, tensions rise and you got something to talk about instead of like, oh yeah, we're up by 55,
Well, I guess, you gotta have that comfortable win where you're comfortably up, but then you're not like gonna die kind of up. But now we got a kick out to the try zone, and they place it down, which will bring a thingamabobber up to the 50. Free kick.
Yeah, so when off the kickoff, they kick it into the try zone. If they touch it down, the other team can bring it back up to the halfway point, and they can give the ball to the other team. So it looks like they've opted to do that instead of just take their chances and try to kick it. And so looks like they opt to keep the ball instead of kicking.
And they get it out to the backs now. 10. Bring a couple tackles. Theo Carlisle gets out his case, brings him down. Some good hands there from the 5 from Marist. The circles. Penalty to La Salette. We're talking. Obstruction. Schrader tries to retrieve the ball, but it was knocked forward. High back Stouse. Scrum for Marist.
Yeah, it looks like the ball was going back and forth. I mean, that was definitely a La Salette knock-on, so there's definitely no contesting that call. But, I have the sneaking suspicion that there's going to be a lot of scrums this game, like there was for the varsity game. I don't think that'll be necessarily a bad thing. It'll just give us a little bit more scrum practice. But, also... generally, and I'm not talking about like with this ref, but generally we have pretty good scrums, pretty stable scrums. Like this one. This one's pretty solid. They keep the ball.
The 8-man. Flailing around there. It's picked up by their 2-12. Sean Holman tackles him down.
Looks like Sean was trying to strip the ball and tackle him at the same time, but he could only bring him down.
Down the trash man tackle. There's Anthony Wilson, Alexander Trella. Team tackle.
And there's another try. Looks like, well, we did have some tacklers there. The Marist player who made the try was just a little bit taller, and they couldn't quite get... they couldn't quite make that active tackle and force him backwards. They just tried to go for a passive tackle. And, when you give that passive tackle, he can still stretch out and he can still place the ball, even though he might have been tackled outside the try zone. So you really got to make those active tackles. The passive, it isn't enough. Maybe it is like out on the 50 or in the other team's half. But when it's right on your goal line, then it's you can't go for anything less than a good solid active tackle.
That's right, Gigi. Now they gotta have a kick here. We gotta get at the tee. And as you can see, he is accounting for the win, for the ball is not directly aimed between the uprights. So he kicks it. It curved out. Not enough. As you can see with that kick, the wind is insanely strong. Could blow a strong man off his feet and out of his trousers. So you gotta be careful where you walk. Thomas Schrader at the top. Telling everyone to hurry up and speed up and get back. And shot hole kind of gets it. That's enough of a kick. Isaac Schreck hangs on and gets the tackle. They pass it out to their 6. Trask hangs on by the jersey. There's an offload. Sean Holman with the tackle. Jake Staffke with some good clearing. Here's Thomas Schrader and Alexander Trella.
Yeah, some pretty good counter-rucking by Jake Staffke. We don't really see that very often. Salette doesn't really like to do the whole counter-ruck thing if they've already got 2 guys on it, but that was a very solid counter-ruck. He would have won if they hadn't got the ball out a little bit sooner.
And we knock off scrum for Salette.
Well, anyways, there's another scrum, this time to Salette. They might be JV, but their scrums are pretty decent. The hooker's pretty good. Sam Green is a novice at being a scrum half, but so far he's been doing a pretty good job. He gets his hand in there and he grabs the ball and he whips it out, retains possession.
Bit high, right past Joe Rowe. Theo Carlisle gets it. Ian Whitehead out to Sean Holman. Gets to the winger, Bill Reen. The monkey business going around out there. There's a advantage to Marist. Ball's out to the forwards. Big man. Good tackle by Xavier Dean. And now it's back out. Tom Trask can get him at Alexander Trella and gets the tackle. Joseph Romero clings up to him like a magnet. Brings him down. Max Stouse from North Carolina. Well, Charlotte, North Carolina, to be exact. And Joe Rowe steps in the middle, as Mr. Lanther would say, and takes him down. Now, the 8-man throws a couple people off him, but he's brought down by a nice aggressive tackle from Alexander Trella.
Yeah, Trella might be a little bit shorter than the average rugby player, but he's definitely tenacious and he's definitely, I wouldn't say violent, but he definitely puts his all out there.
Ball's out. Anthony Lewis with a tackle there. Now it's goal line defense again for Salette. Joseph Romero at the tackle. Jake Staffke trying to get the poach, can't quite get there. Ball out to Big Man. To the 4. A nice team tackle, Xavier Dean and Thomas Schrader. Almost like they're the dynamic duo. Malachi Martin has a lightning bug on his collar that I flick off. And now the ball's out, back to the 6. William Reed misses a tackle, and there's a try.
Yeah, Salette's doing a pretty good job with that goal line defense. They did force Marist to 7 phases. So from the time that they got to the goal line, they had to try to smash in 7 times before they finally did find the hole. It's not entirely Salette's fault. You know, you try to give all your people that you can to right where the ball is, because they're more than likely just trying to smash through there, try if they can gain a few inches every time, then eventually touch down the ball. Marist outsmarted them and whipped it down the side and ran through where there was only one person trying to defend, and unfortunately that one person just wasn't enough.
Right. That'll be a kick, and he will not make this one either. Just to the side.
Yeah, the wind is definitely brutal for the Marist this first half. Next half, they'll have the wind with them for their conversions if they have any opportunity to kick one. But for now, it's definitely working in our favor against them.
So the Sir gives Marist a penalty at the 50 for A high tackle. And in response to that, Xavier Dean forces a knock on and says, "No, sir, I don't care what you say. We're getting that ball back."
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of back and forth. We haven't really seen. Well, I guess Marist has had a little bit more of possession, but it's really been a pretty balanced back and forth with maybe a couple breakaway runs from Marist. But so far, possession's been pretty balanced. You know, one guy has the ball and there's a penalty, and the other guy has the ball.
Indeed, sir. We get another scrum, and yet another day with about 10 minutes, 12 minutes or so left. As Malachi Martin pushes up his glasses. Ball's out. Lost was a scrum. Ian Whitehead offloads to Sean Holman, who has a gap. Turns off some speed and leaves some people in his wake. Offload back to Ian Whitehead. They're missing tackles, like they're going out of style, so he finally is brought down. Ball's out. Max Stouse crashes inside. Good run. Ball's out. Joseph Romero gets tackled down. Support isn't quite there quick enough, but Los will get the penalty. Diving in. We saw this the varsity game where Los Salette's forwards would dive in quite a bit. And now he's calling it for Los Salette, so get a good advantage there. Zed Thomas Schrader gets a nice bear hug and brought down. Xavier Dean gets hit kind of hard and knocked on. So there'll be that scrum.
Yeah, it's hard when you're the size of Xavier Dean and it's pretty tall. So you got your ball held pretty high up on your chest, and then somebody that's shorter than you tackles you. It's real easy for that ball to just pop right out of your hands, and that's what happened here. It just popped out of his hands, and there's a knock on. So it'll be scrum to Marist, but you know, it's once again that's really not too bad of a penalty. So we're pretty good at coming off of scrums pretty hard, you know. Right there, Trella gets the 8-man pick right off the bat.
Good tackle by Trella. That is the flanker's job to make that tackle right off the bat on that 8-man. If he does make a pick, here's the kick. Sean Holman will get it. The leaping gazelle, and yes, he is the leaping gazelle as he leaps through people's arms. Finally gets brought down. Yeah, it looks like one of the Miners players got a bit confused and took the ball when he wasn't supposed to. Lost Salette penalty. Now, Sean Holman, he ran cross country this year, and he's really light. He's really light, really swift. And he's got that endurance, and he also has some extreme hops, and he can dunk and all that. So he's using all those put together. You got the gazelle that he is out here and breaking tackles, jumping over people. That's what we like to see. Nice and quick from our 15, Sean Holman.
Yeah, Sean Holman, he's quite the guy. He's a poly sport. He did cross country, he played basketball, and he does rugby. So
tri-sport.
Poly sport, yeah. You got more than one.
Yeah. Looks like there's a bit of a mishap there, and Marist gets the ball. A nice hard clear, though, from our La Salette forwards. And they'll steal the ball right back and say, "No, sir, that's my ball." Ian Whitehead has that to Dominic Trask, but there will be a penalty called back, awarded to Marist, collapsing the ruck. Salette spreading, and the ball's up, and immediately good tackle there from Darren Esparza. No one escapes through his arms in a hurry. And it's stolen back again. Joe Rowe gets out to Dominic Trask, the man from St. Mary's. Ian Whitehead. Ball pass out to Joe Rowe. Now Joseph is very speedy if he gets on a breakaway or anywhere where there are gaps. And he offloads it to Tom Schrader. Xavier Dean with a crash. Quick ruck over from La Salette. Joseph Romero. Bit high to Theo Carlisle. Ball's knocked forward.
Yeah, it's known as a hospital pass. It's when it's that high. You know, that high pass, he just kind of tried to whip it off, see if he could make a play out of that, but that did lead to, you know, no control in the catch, so that led to the knock-on, and then now after the knock-on, we got a scrum. So really got to pay attention to, you know, just making good passes, not just always quick passes. You really got to have that balance. Alexander Trello with another tackle right off the scrum.
And it looks like there's a penalty. And Marist will get the ball back. They kick it into touch. And that is halftime.
It's been a pretty good first half. The Marist boys have scored a couple more times than we have, but it's definitely not stopping our spirits. We've had a couple good tackles on our side, especially Alexander Trello right off the scrum. So, you know, it's been a good half, and we'll see you next time. Well, welcome back to the second half of this Marist JV versus Salette JV. This is Malachi Martin, and I'm joined by my head and co-host Elijah Hall. Game's been pretty good so far, very windy, as you can tell on my mic. I apologize for that. The Marist rugby players are up 15-5. It's unfortunate, but it's definitely been a fun game to watch, or at least I think so. Elijah, what do you think about it?
I think it's been pretty okay. Some development here from our Salette JV. These are some other guys who. So we have a D2 team who plays a bunch of D2 varsity teams. So basically teams that are not varsity teams that are not good enough to play at the D1 level where our varsity is. But we basically have a D2 team, which is basically where all our varsity subs play and other very good sophomores and such. This is a JV team, so this team is more developmental. Get people playing time so they can move up to D2 and varsity when they come of age. But here we got, looks like Dominic Trask trying to get the post there. Couldn't quite get a hang on it. And there'll be a knock on scrum to
Looks like scrum to Marist.
Marist, yes. That's their name. I knew that.
Yeah, today we've had definitely a few visiting families, such as the Whiteheads and Missouri families and the Illinois families, the teachers.
I wouldn't go to say as much as a few. I'd mean like a lot. Like we got quite a lot. The place is steaming with little children and such. A lot of people here to watch as a big man scores a try again. But yeah, there's quite a few people here. Good experience to come watch the A-side game and watch the B-side game as well.
Yeah, but along with the families, there are the always faithful Plog family. They live nearby. The senior Mr. Plog is here along with the Mr. Plog, the firefighter. They come to almost every basketball game. They come to almost every rugby game. It seems like they like Salette quite a bit. So definitely shout out to them for their faithfulness just to our school itself. They've definitely been a great factor. They're always there, ready with a smile, and they're always cheering. So it definitely helps the program in no small way.
A couple years ago, Plog Jr., he played in one of Salette's alumni rugby games, and this is a story Father State loves to tell. But he got in at the very last minute, and he was super excited, and everyone was like cheering Plog, 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 and it was all pumped up. He got the ball and got utterly destroyed, but he stood right back up and was smiling wide, just happy to be on the field. It was good for him. I'm glad he was happy to be there, had to be playing with the Salette alumni and such.
Yeah, so definitely a great family, great supporters, great fans, pretty much just great people.
And now they're back out to the kickoff. And Marist gets it right around the 35-meter line. Big man charges in, tries to get a couple. And Dominic Trask can't get his long arms. And number Jake Staffke forces a quick pickup. There's a bit of a forward pass there. He's probably playing basketball. There's some peacemakers on the field as there is going to be a scrum between Salette.
Yeah, it looks like Marist was a little bit confused about that. Anytime that there's a knock-on or a forward pass, there's always a scrum. But yeah, it was just unfortunate. They did what people usually do, is just a little bit forward. They were trying to just get it to the next guy down the line, and happened to be a little bit in front of him, and he took the pass anyways. So Salette gets the ball. Salette gets the scrum.
Chris Corner in for William Rain. Ball in, scrum's good. And Andrew Staffke in for Xavier Dean. Joseph Romero trying to do some moves, can't really get it. Good clear. So Schrader can grab the ball, so he opted to take a nice tackle instead. Now, Los Salette's line is 0-2. Not very good. They need to work on that, but that's part of this developmental side. They're all learning.
Yeah, it seems like they're all kind of just chasing after the ball a little bit. I mean, it's not just one big clump, but it's definitely all centered around the ball. So they're going to have to be able to just kind of, I mean, focus on the ball, but then also spread out a little bit. You know, you can't all be in the same spot. That's how they break through. That's how they score.
Justin Mackin coming in. And we win the scrum. Ball's out to Ian Whitehead. He breaks some tackles and gets tackled. Chris Corner couldn't really take the onslaught of multiple big men charging him down. Didn't really have much support there from anyone else. Now Lassa is back on defense. Theo Carlisle tackled with Ian Whitehead. Nice little fake there from Marist 12. Just tackled down. The ball's out. Staffs couldn't quite get a hang on it, but Trader gets put in a headlock and brought down. Dominic Trask runs into a wall. Penalty awarded to Marist, collapsing the ruck. It would appear that person rucking over, his hands were not in the right spot or something, spot where the ref didn't like.
Yep, so they got the penalty and they decided to kick it into touch, so they'll take the line out right where the ball went out. The ref is telling the players and the fans that they should get cheeseburgers after the game is done. Good to see him in a good humor. Everybody is in a good humor, you know. It's a good rugby game.
Indeed, indeed. Now Marist is running cheesecake. That's the call. We can hear because the lineout's right in front of us. And they threw it right to the big man, but the lineout was. We shall see. Lineout was not straight or so, and it'll be a scrum for Los Salette. Now that cheesecake play really almost got somewhere, and I can see why. Never mind. It'll be a scrum for Los Salette. Sam Green from Oregon putting the ball in. Double tap.
They crouch, they bind, they set, they put it in.
And the ball's out. And a little pass on the side there from Theo Carlisle was picked up by Deshaun Holman. He's run down in the tackle. Now the ball's out back to Isaac Schreck. Also known as the pilot. It's a good clearing there from Andrew Staffke. Justin Romero, his famous chip kick. Couldn't really quite get it. Thomas Schrader manhandles a man and throws him down. There's a forced turnover. Alexander Trella pokes the ball away. What a play from Alex. And it'll be a knock on. Los Salette scrum yet again.
while we couldn't directly get possession of that kick right after Joseph kicked it, when they were trying to catch it, they got it, and then they kind of like tried to pass it, and it did lead to a knock-on. So indirectly, that was a good play by Joseph Romero. It would probably be best if he didn't try to do that too very often, because the wind is against him, and it probably won't go very far. So it's a discretionary measure.
And there will appear to be a penalty awarded to Marist, and they do the quick tap. Now they get significant meters down the field. And down there, 6 takes the ball. And Eric Lessa tries zone, get back up. Fighting hard and gets the try.
Yeah, the defense is it's there, but they're just not wrapping. They're not actively tackling once again on the goal line. You know, that's kind of what's missing here. Is just that you got to split step. You got to put your cheek on their cheek, and you got to just push, and you got to force them backward. You can't just become a doormat. Well, yeah, it's a doormat. It'll stop them, but when they're right on the goal line, once again, it doesn't matter. They're stopped, but they just scored. So it's got to be a lot more active than that, a little bit more aggressive.
Indeed, sir.
I mean, most of the game, they're being pretty aggressive, but it's just the tackling has really got to, you know, just got to get a little bit better if they want to come back and win this game.
With the win, the kick was good. Also walks her way back up to the 15-meter line. And the kick. Received by Marist 10. Theo Carlisle drives him back. So it's finally an offload. Another offload. Jacob Staffke and Alex Trella, the dynamic duo, take him down. There's Pilot Shrek and Ian Whitehead. Team tackles are good. And here's Andrew Staffke, who pulls a big one down by his heel. But there will be a penalty for going in from the side. Now the 12 will take it. It start breaking some tackles, but yes. That is Theo Carlisle. Goes down. A good tackle there by Max Stouse. Alexander Trella. He opts for the seat of the trousers again. Pulls him down.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't take him down completely with your tackle, you can at least be dead weight on his rear end. So that'll definitely help out.
And the Loslet steals it off of a knock on. Is Dominic Trask. Trella getting really good and low in his rucks. No one can blow him off. Sam Green now to Joseph Romero. Long pass out to Ian Whitehead. He gets back inside and starts turning it on. And once he gets on a roll, he's on a roll. And he's gone. He is gone. Gone, son. He is down back of Missouri. Slam dunks. I tell you what, that was a run I could ever did see. Man, my John Deere don't move that fast.
No, sure. Anyways, yeah, there's no calling that one back for a knock-on like his last try, so that's a good try. That was a solid run, a solid try, and a solid plant.
I'm pretty sure that's why he did plant that done did right there, because he wanted to make sure that the ref did see that he done did plant that try.
Sorry, can I get a translation of that? I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah. All the Southerners were all the people from middle of nowhere, Missouri, or middle of nowhere anywhere, will know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah, but they're all here, so how could they possibly be watching and listening?
there's still people from Idaho and Montana. Like, what if Cook's watching? I mean,
Yeah, actually, hey Cook, if you're watching this, yeah, I bet you'd like that.
Sebastian Cook and Simon Cook. We don't want to get insulting. That's just how Sebastian talks sometimes. So we just had to.
That's how he talks. Kick is good.
Looked like a rocket ship going up there, arcing through the atmosphere. Pretty cool there. A nice kick from Sean Holman right down the center. Sean Holman also was working on his capstone, and he made a radio antenna out of some metal piping and some other wires and stuff, homemade, and it worked. And it was pretty cool. I remember one Sunday afternoon he was talking to somebody off in somewhere in, I don't remember what it was like Champaign or something like that. He was talking to him, and apparently the guy was a radio guy to help out with radio, so he offered to help him out with some stuff, and it was pretty cool actually that you could talk to someone, and the signal was very good. It wasn't scratchy at all. It's pretty cool to see that, Sean Holman.
Yeah, it's just one more skill in the old bag of skills for Sean Holman. Very impressive.
Waiting for the command. Looks like there's some problemos en la cabeza.
The sir gives the A-OK and they kick.
Underway. Ian Whitehead bounces it back to himself, and he's fixing to go 176 yards here. Burn, break, again. This is what he does. He can't be tackled. Ian Whitehead finally brought down, and Joseph Mackin. Strong ruck there. Cleats go flying. Very good play here. Good ruck by Jake Staffke and Joe Mackin. Joe Rowe kind of gets pushed to the ground. Alexander Trella can't really get a hand on the ball. Went to go tie a shoe, but I guess it wasn't ready. Sean Holman, but he gets a hold of it. Here's the Gazelle. Boing, 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 spring a boom, boom, and Sean Holman speeds his way through and plants it with definition. That's what we like to see all the way from Indiana. Coast to coast slam, alley-oop. That alley-oop there from, I don't remember, Joe Rowe. It was from Joe Rowe. He got that pass.
Yeah, there's a lot of components to that try. You know, starting off with a pass by Joe Rowe, Alexander Trella trapped the ball. It almost got lost on the ground, but then he eventually did get it out. Sean Holman got it. Nice long legs, ran it in. Nobody wants to tackle that. He put it down, and it's a try, and he's going to kick his own conversion.
Pretty windy. Gets the ball a couple pats. And the kick is good. As Sean Holman sends another one off to the Bahamas. Now Marist looks extremely tired after chasing Ian Whitehead all around the field all day. I would be too. In fact, I wouldn't ever want to chase him. I wouldn't want to tackle him either. Pretty strong man. And they're ever slowly inching their way back. Back up to the 50-meter line. Slowly yet surely making their way. Now we see that this Salette team is definitely more conditioned. And they can handle it longer. They got the willpower. They're definitely showing it. Thomas Schrader breaks and cuts inside. Finally brought down. Good run from Thomas Schrader. That was a pretty fast 18 right there. I wasn't quite sure he'd make it all the way up here. Here's Isaac Schreck, the pilot. Take it down. Alexander Trella. Nice strong ruck. That's low. Back to Ian Whitehead. And we've been seeing this a lot. Offload to Sean Holman. He gets tackled. Now the Marist players are finally realizing that If they make tackles, they don't have to worry about chasing Ian or Sean all the way down the field. It looks like Marist stole it. And Salette will tackle them into touch. Line out.
Yeah, there'll be another line out. It'll be an interesting one. I think Marist will probably just no jump. They'll probably just send it straight to their forward guy. So I don't think that there's much chance of us stealing this one.
Looks like we got Max House throwing.
It's in fact our line out, so of course we're not going to steal this one. We're just going to keep possession of it.
That's how
However, our lineouts have been a little shaky so far, so see if we can keep possession. Oh, and we do. We tip it to Sam Green.
Joseph Romero, speeder on the outside, back to Ian Whitehead, kind of fumbles it forward a bit. And there's some aggressive tackling there from Marist, the Red Hawks. Welcome to All Salette Weather Report. Today we are currently at around 23 degrees. 23 mile per hour wind. It's about 70 degrees outside. 77 degrees outside. The storm is blowing back to the north, according to the compass. And there's a slight wind from the west as well, kind of crisscross applesauce. Resulting in kind of hard kicking here for both teams. But takes some accuracy.
Yeah, the conversions for Lost Salette's been pretty good, but the in-game kickings has been pretty terrible so far. Joe Rose kicked straight to the other team. Luckily, they knocked it on. But there have been a lot of penalties this game. I think the wind has been a major factor, and the grumpy old ref has definitely been another major factor. He's a very picky ref, so he'll call anything that he sees, and sometimes we can't even tell what he's calling, but I'm sure that he has a reason.
Yeah, and also from Marist, I think also from Marist, Deja Marcus is doing a pretty good job scoring them tries. He's a pretty big guy. I think he must also play basketball, but yeah, I think Deja Marcus is doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, and it turns out that the Sir has actually been playing rugby or been part of rugby since 1973.
Yeah, that's old.
That's a long time to be playing rugby, so he definitely knows a lot about rugby. It's always these older refs that they know a lot. They know the ins and outs. They've been through a lot of perhaps like minor rule changes. So just to keep up with the game, they've got to know everything. So
some say they played rugby with Abe Lincoln. And yes, the wind is starting to slow down a bit from the varsity game. It's not as bad. The varsity game was about 25, 26, 27 miles an hour. And everyone's getting ready back on the field. And there's some yip-yapping. And looks like Sam Green's going to quick tap it out. Thomas Schrader. Tackled down. Andrew Staffke. Good clear. Jess Romero. Out to Theo Carlisle. Carlisle will get it up to Pilot Shrek. He'll get tackled down. Theo Carlisle
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to call that a knock-on. He did. Oh, I guess they are. It did bounce off a Lost Salette Lions face.
It is a scrum too, Lost Salette, though. They're calling it a knock-on on Dayton Marcus when he punched the ball out. So it'll be a scrum. It looks like there'll be a 7-man scrum instead of 8-man scrum. Bit of a scoring drought here in this bit deeper into the second half. Not much scoring has been going on. We'll see if the Lost Salette can change that. Here's Dominic Trask with St. Mary's, Kansas. Oh, what an offload to Thomas Joseph Mackin. Basketball pass out to Sam Green. Now, that was quite the play there by Dominic Trask. A professional offload there. I don't see those things kind of often. Turning things on now.
Yeah, Joseph Mackin, very light man, so he wisely got rid of the ball before he was forced into touch, forced out of bounds. So he offloaded it, and now he retained possession of the ball.
Yeah, win's a big factor for him especially. Here's Theo Carlisle. Passing it out to Ian Boynton. Ian, spin move. Kind of a good team tackle there from Marist. And now
Schrader had his big moment, but it was called back for a penalty.
Schrader almost ran for another 176 yards like he did last time.
Don't worry, Thomas. It'll come. It'll come.
Quick tap. Jogs in, gets it out to a back who immediately gets it to their biggest man who starts doing some weaving thing. Also trying to get that clear. Couldn't quite get there. Alexander Trella and Max Deuce. Sir blows his whistle and a penalty. Not rolling away. Quick tap. And a good swing down by Jake Staffke. The 12 tried to put a stiff arm in, but Jake Staffke decided to say no and threw him down with the stiff arm. And so we'll go back to that knock-on. Quite a few knock-ons this game. Marist probably poor communication, and Lost has been getting a lot of scrubs as a result of that.
Yeah, it looks like my prognostication at the beginning of the game is right. We're going to see a lot of scrums. We've seen a lot of scrums. Luckily, a lot of those scrums were for Lost Salette, so definitely lucky that we've been able to keep a hold on the ball a little bit better than Marist has so far. You know, we've done a pretty good job. I don't think we've lost any of our scrums. None of them have been stolen by Marist.
Of course, Malachi had to say something, as we saw in the first game when Malachi was talking about how strong our scrubs were. One got stolen from us, so we need to watch out for our
Don't worry.
perceptions.
Lightning doesn't hit the same place twice, except when it does it, but it didn't this time. So we kept possession of the ball.
Good run there by Theo Carlisle. I think getting back out to DT. Let's take it down. Nice strong run from T-Mac. Sorry, that's not T-Mac. That's J-Mac. Joseph Mac. That's a William Reed. Bill Reed down the sideline. He's burning some men. And he gets pushed into touch. But that's a pretty good run there. 40 meters or so. Sorry, not 40, 20 or so meters. Got a run from William Reed.
Yeah, Will Green's another one of those guys that really got to worry about the wind pushing him out of bounds. So he should have offloaded before he got shoved out. You know, he's just one of those smaller guys, lighter, more thin. So it's good that he definitely gave us a lot of meterage, but you really got to think about, like, you know, he's not that big. He's going to be easy to shove out.
Well, so that shove out was that I wouldn't really call that a reed shaken by the wind. That was more like a reed shaken by an avalanche. A reed shaken by an avalanche, if you get what I mean. There's quite a few big men who tackled him out of bounds. Kind of not much you can do there when you have a guy who's at least 200 pounds heavier than you pushing you out of bounds.
Oh yeah, there's definitely that.
Obviously, there's some confusion going on. The line out, but they got it underway. And they throw it right, and they promptly knock it on. And Lost gets the ball and back into touch. The Sir will go back to the scrum. Lost let scrum yet again. Right around the 45-meter line. Now this is when we got to get the ball out to the backs and let Ian Whitehead cook. Excuse me, Ian Whitehead is currently not in the game. I meant to say this is when we get out to the outsides and let Sean Holman cook and let him gazelle his way through and springbok into the try zone like he does so often.
Sam Green again keeps possession of the ball, whips it out to Joseph Romero, who then gives it to Theo Carlisle. Who gives it to Chris Corner, but he can't keep possession of it, and he knocks it on, but luckily it's brought back to an earlier penalty. La Salette keeps the ball.
Sam Green looking to kick up something on the outside. Gives it a Max Staffs. Crash. A good tackle there from Marist. Those two big men got pretty low for being that tall. Keys to him. Sean Holman. Here he goes. So he couldn't really quite weave it there. Not much for him to go. Here's Sam Green. Backs it out to Joseph Romero to Chris Corner. That's a bad Billy on the sideline, burning some ankles. Looks like there's some burn marks in the grass where he was just running. So I might want to go put some new seeds over there. Okay, now Theo Carlisle has his turn. Gets around the 40-meter line, a nice, decent 10-meter run. Looking to release the ball. Anthony Lewis doing a good job. Rucking over along with Alexander Trella. Down at Trask. DT stuck in traffic. Now Thomas Schrader's rucking over. William Reed again. Oh my goodness. It's almost like people just happen to lose their ankles every single time William Reed just touches the ball. Way to go, Bill. How's that to JT? Now JT gets tackled down. JT is short for Joseph Thomas. Joseph Thomas is Joseph Mackin's middle name, so sometimes we call him JT. And there'll be a penalty awarded to the Red Hawks. TIS is their team name, or thus is their team name. There's approximately 40 seconds left in. There'll be a line out. There'll be a line out for the Red Hawks. At around the 40-meter line.
Yeah, the Red Hawks actually have a very interesting school history. They were started around 100 years ago. The bishop of of Peoria, right, asked a certain order of teaching brothers if they could start a school for the growing number of Catholic families there, but that particular order already had 17 schools that were under their care, so they had to politely reject that request, and the Marist brothers took it, and now we have this school. And originally they were named the Redskins, but they had to change that to the Red Hawks to stay politically correct. So here we are, and the game is over.
And that is the end of the B-side game. And thank you for watching. I'm Elijah Hall.
This is Malachi Martin, and we'll see you next week on the varsity game.